Hey folks, GD here, and today we're going to be fitting this. This is a PLA spool alternative for this, or PLA holder rather, for your Ender 3, or it doesn't have to be Ender, it can be any 3D printer that has this particular kind of alignment here, so you can attach this to it. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to be replacing this PLA holder with this. Now I have done it already over here with another one of my printers, and essentially I'm quite impressed. So all you do is, instead of you having that big print, I think that spool is a bit knackered. Let's get the one under here. Let's get that one. So basically all you would do, yeah, that's better. So all you would do is replace your PLA holder like this, because basically I've got a bit of an issue with this particular type, and I'll show you why in a bit. Now you replace it with this, and then essentially all your extruder does is it pulls in when it pulls in your PLA holder, your spool just sits on this nice little wheel mechanism, and it pulls it in without there being any resistance whatsoever, rather than when you have this type of mechanism, it jerks, and it jerks a lot, and the little stepper motor under here has got to put in a lot of effort to pull that down, whereas with this it's nice and smooth, and it just looks a little bit nicer, you know. The only downside is you have got to get it exactly in these wheels. If you don't get it inside the wheels, then it's going to fall off. But once it's in, I have successfully printed quite a few things using this particular wheel. I tried it a few weeks before making this video, just because I wanted to see how it was going to fare. And I think actually this has moved. I think this has actually moved a little bit because the spool isn't lining up, whereas it used to. There we go, near enough. So basically that's what I'm going to be doing here today. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I have got a bit of an issue with this particular type. Now, this is the standard PLA holder you get with, well, basically the Ender 3 Pros. The Ender 3 Pros have all got them. The Ender 3s have got them. I haven't got another Ender 3 in here to show you, only the Pros. Even the Ender 5 Plus, like, if you excuse the mess, has even got a similar mechanism inside there. I don't like it. Yes, okay, the extruder has got the stepper motor here on the extruder is more than capable of pulling in that PLA, but every now and again you can hear it really pull in, and it jars and it pulls, and it just doesn't sound right. So all I'm doing is just making that a little bit of just removing that horrible jerkiness and making it a little bit smoother. Have I noticed the prints being a bit smoother? Not really. I don't think it's made any sort of aesthetic difference to the prints. Not that I've noticed anyway. I print everything in super fine detail, but I just think it sits a little bit nicer. It does a bit of a nicer job. So all I'm going to do is just pull this off now a little bit. There we go. Simple as that. And it's the same fitting. It's this same sort of locking mechanism fitting here that you have on these rollers. So I bought quite a few of these to cover every single printer. These three, I've got one to cover my Ender 5 Plus, which I'll be doing in a couple of weeks when I reset it back up when I finally finish sorting out this room. And I've got one for my Ender 3, which currently is in the other room, not in here. And I've got another one for my other 3D printer, which I'll be unboxing in the next few weeks. So let's have a little look. So you get everything you need inside this pack. You get your roller, and you get all the little tools. Now, when it comes to these, that is not the right alignment. You've got to undo these two screws here, and then change the width to hold a spool. And you've got to keep an eye on that, because I reckon my one over there, I reckon that's changed a bit. I reckon that's altered a little bit, because it doesn't seem to be fitting as well as it was. Well, I'll show you the end result anyway when I get this all done up, all nice. And so let's just take a bit of time. There we go. Right, that loosens it. Now you've got quite a bit of width to play with. You can have it widthways should you want to. I'm going to opt for having it lengthways, because you've got these 4 little rubber bungs on the bottom. They should fit on and clip in place. When that's the case, you know you've got it at the right width for the spool. So then the spool just fits in it then. Oh, it should have. I'm pushing it in. So let me finish putting that in anyway, and then I can check it. So I'll just do it thumb tight for the second, not too, so that I can then balance this in the top. And there you are, look, it's on all 4 wheels, rolling really quite nice. Excellent. So now what I'll do is I'll get one of these bolts and one of the accompanying screws, and I will attach this to the printer. And then, there we go, lovely. So then, and that way, perfect. So the whole idea being is obviously when you next turn on your printer, then heat up the end, the hot end, extract, if you've got any other PLA hanging on the end like I have here, extract that and then feed this back in. And that's essentially it. It's just, it moves a little bit smoother, it's a little bit nicer, it's not as pulley. Hopefully the motor hasn't got to do as much work. I have certainly noticed on that printer there that as soon as it starts to pull in the PLA, it is ever so gentle. And I haven't had this wobble. I have, obviously on that printer, I haven't had it wobble. I haven't had anything untoward happen. The spool hasn't fallen off. So I'm going to continue to use it. I'll do a little update video in the next few days, just to show you exactly what it's like when this is in operation. But I think so far, I'm pretty happy. Right then, folks, so now we're all set up. Look, we're all set up, we're all working. You see this? You might not be able to see it on the camera because I think I shake as well a bit. But as you might be able to see, this PLA spool holder, the spool is attached to it. I've got quite a tiny bit of PLA in there, and it's just being pulled over into the extruder, and then obviously down into the hot end. And then I'm printing some coins. So some of these JD's 3D World thank you coins for any purchase, any physical purchase gets one of these as a little thank you. So I'm just printing because I've just had an order. So I had 4 of these. Whoops, I had 4 of these. Now I've got 3 because I put one in with the order. So I'm printing another 4. So put that to one side. This is what we're interested in right now. See, its movement is ever so slow, ever so slight, but it's stable. See? It's lovely. It's really nice, and you don't get any of that endless clicking from the extruder as it's trying to keep on pulling in that PLA. Obviously you can adjust the screw here, which is what I've done time and time again, to ensure that that you don't get any of that clicking. But with this, see, look at it. It's ever so smooth, as it's just being gently fed into the extruder. The PLA is just being gently fed into the extruder, and it's just pulling it ever so slightly. See, it's not bad, is it? That's not bad. So there we are. Thanks, my friends, for watching. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy printing.